we go. Hello. Looking weird. Get rid of that. We are good to go. Hey there. How you doing? Nobody's ever explained the phrases good morning and good grief to me, but here I am. All right. So last night, I watched another episode with my wife. Thrilling, educational, profound. Of My Little Pony. I'm just kidding. I didn't watch that. Francis Schaeffer. And every time I watch the dude, I'm like, oh, this is why my college used this dude's series as part of the course material. We watched an episode once a week, I think, and it's classic. It's extremely educational. And it's profound. Francis Schaeffer, who you can watch for free, well, Amazon Prime. On Amazon, it's worth buying. It is worth buying. It's one of those things that you could watch a bunch of times. It really is. But the episode number 3, if you have access to Amazon Prime, go check out Francis Schaeffer's episode number 3, and then watch all the rest. But we watched episode 3 last night, and it was just like, this dude is so deep and so easy to understand and so awesome with those goofy socks. So serious. Don't criticize the dude for his socks. It's part of what makes him great. Well, no more crazy mornings. I decided this week, getting in my overtime, but only 2 hours a day. And I had to strike a balance with my body and waking up randomly, all anxious-like, physically, not mentally anxious, but physically anxious. There's a difference. I'm just like sleeping to the alarm no matter what. I woke up at 4:20. I'm like, nope, I don't care. It means that when I wake up at 5, it might not be the ideal time. Bruh, I hate when people are wearing all black and walking on the side of the road when it's dark outside. I think that they had parents that didn't love them. Or they were children that didn't love their parents, because that happens too. Maybe their parents did tell them what to do, and they just think they're smarter than that. Can't always blame the parents. Obviously. So I felt like I wanted to talk a whole lot more about episode 3 of Francis Schaeffer's show, but I'm not going to do it nearly as much justice or honor as he does his own show. There's a lot packed in there. And if you're not used to watching stuff like that, I recommend just stick with it. Please. It's very valuable. Very valuable. It starts to help you understand the nature of why things are the way they are from a historical standpoint, and how individuals once looked Bible initially, early on, and how culture and humanism, all these things, have distorted our understanding of truth itself. But he explains it in such a beautiful, fantastic way. It's really great. So, back to the parent thing, though. I don't know how many of you are parents. Some of you will be. You got to think about this. This whole argument of you can't always blame the parents. Let me explain. Was there anybody that Jesus encountered or walked with on a regular basis, had the opportunity to hear perfect truth, which I don't claim to offer my children perfect truth. Do my best, but I wouldn't say that it's perfect truth all the time, and holistically perfect truth, as his actions and his words were all perfect truth. Was there anybody that encountered that perfect truth and rejected it? Yeah, obviously. One of his disciples, Pharisees, rich young ruler. I'm sure the list goes on and on. So, welcome. Hello. Good morning. So, I had somebody, I read the chat from yesterday, and I had somebody say, he used to read the chat, now he doesn't do that anymore. That's because I used to have a cell phone to stream with, and the chat was staring me in the face. What is this? 30 inches away? 25 inches away? 30? Anyway, when I looked at the camera, I was seeing the chat. Well, now I have a laptop and a separate webcam. So when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at a camera, not a phone. That's part of what made the phone so convenient. Now it's different. But it's better than what I was doing for 2 days, 3 days, where I was filming myself in a video and then uploading that later. It was an upload instead of live stream, which prevents the opportunity for live chat. And even though I'm not reading it, I've got people that I've learned to respect, able to moderate the chat and say, hey, what's up? People that get it, at least I hope get it. They can say hello. They can say hello to me. They can say hello to others. So that's it. I was just like, a little, but it's, if you knew enough that I used to read the chat, you must have taken a little break from my channel to not realize that YouTube robbed us of the opportunity to live stream from our phones, because you have to have 1,000 subscribers or more. And essentially, due to my live, I've got the best I can, and I'm not making this a business. It would be very. It would have to be what's the word? I'd have to be called by God to trust an extremely untrustworthy system in order to make YouTube a business venture. Because no, I don't know. Even though but what does this tell you? That I do have a laptop in here and a webcam. It means I'm at least devoted to saying what I said, doing what I said I would do. That's what I wanted to say. So, proof. I don't know what you think I might be drinking, but I'm starting my day off with power, with awesomeness. All right, I'll tell you what it is. It's not coffee. It's in a Starbucks little cup. It is vanilla ice cream and orange juice. Call it orange cream or whatever. I don't know how they. Nah, that's something else for sure. Creamsicle, orange cream, whatever you want to call it. All I know is I was extremely disappointed. My wife bought fresh squeezed every day from Sam's Club or whatever. How fast stuff can happen. Somebody was about to merge into somebody, and then they stopped, and the person knew that they were about to be merged into, so they jerked the wheel a little bit. But had they jerked just a little bit more, they could have spun out of control 50 feet in front of me. They weren't in my lane, but they could have instantly have been a threat to me. And my paths of exit were extremely limited. I had no margin because it was like a ramp exchange or whatever. I don't know. So I think about these things all the time. Part of defensive driving, if you have had courses in defensive driving, you can have years of experience of driving that can teach you if you care. But I've had a lot of professional driving training, not like to the degree necessarily of the police, but I know that stuff too. I know about it. I'm not going to claim that I can do a pit maneuver accurately. I could try. Probably wouldn't work out very well. I think I could do a pit maneuver. I get the point. I know the point of impact and the approach. I get it for the most part. I get it like I get manual transmission. I've driven two. Yeah, that's a couple. I've driven 2 manual drive vehicles. What was that? A Mitsubishi Spider, I think, or something Spider. One of those. It's the first one that I learned how to do manual, and then again in a Miata, and that was tricky. It had been my second time, and I was giving it a try, and I got it into third gear. I was like, oh yeah, okay, well that's cool. Once you're in third, fourth, maybe I did get to fourth. I don't know. 45 miles an hour. I don't remember. I was like, oh, this gets a lot easier. It's less stressful. It's really just getting started. That's the hard part. So I have that in my memory bank. It's been many years. It's been a decade plus, 11 years actually. It's been 11 years. Anyway, and then even longer the time before that. But defensive driving. You have to think about what your out is all the time. You don't want to be boxed in. You want to situate it, and really and truly, I know I was about to say the H word, which I despise. Stuff like that, really and truly, is not real. I've got to make up my own colloquialism. I'm sick of this stupid stuff. Honestly, to be frank, as if I'm not those things all of the time. Colloquialisms come from liars and the world in general, so it's just bound to happen. So how else? How do you say? Let me think of the context of what I was going to say. Let me try and remember what I was going to say. Okay, gotcha. A phrase like this, not to hurt your feelings, but that's actually what I think I mean to say, because I'm about to share an aspect of myself and my knowledge that you might not appreciate or you might not like. It might challenge you. Hey, that's maybe to challenge you. Let me say, that's an interesting. That could be a colloquialism. Huh. I'm usually a little less assumptive, though. I try not to be assumptive. But this is definitely a context where I could say, to challenge you, let me explain. I just passed a vehicle. It happens so rarely that I've pointed it out almost every time. I'm actually passing another vehicle. It's these big, fat, massive vehicles on the road. Sometimes they speed, but oftentimes they don't. Big tractor trailers. No, tractor trailers are always speeding. It's these utility vehicles like tankers and weird utility tankers and stuff. They're driving with their flashing lights on. So I passed two of those. But otherwise, most of the time, people are just smoking by me. And I say no to smoking. That's what I say. Say no to smoking. I mean, you see it. One time, a couple of days ago, I was like, whoa, they were going fast. They were going 100 miles an hour. So I played back the video. I wanted to see if you could see it. You could. I mean, I don't know if you could pull the math off because I think you need to know the frame rate, which I don't even know how you would figure that sort of thing out. But I guess if you could figure out the frame rate, you could actually do the math, a rough estimation of how fast they were going. That's all meaningless. But I just know they were going really fast. My lovely wake-up beverage It's all gone. It's all gone. Everything is gone. It's all gone. That flavor combination, I have to tell you. Hey, so I said I was really disappointed about the oranges, and I never finished my story. Possibly that was the point in time when my life was threatened, and I had to change the topic to handle the situation. So let me tell you about oranges. My wife had bought the Sam's Club orange, fresh squeezed every day. So legit it separates, which I think there's another company that is legit like that. And I think it's Maddie's, Matty''S, Maddie's orange juice. I think like the 32, it might be 64 ounces. It's like $9. It's expensive. Maddie's is a prepackaged one that I think is pretty legit. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure because it separates, that's it. It's Florida Tropics, whatever those other brands are. No. So I'm drinking this, and I'm expecting this, especially because it's fresh squeezed. I'm like, oh yeah, good, the powerful orange flavor. And I'm like, oh, there's something missing. I mean, it tastes like I'm eating an orange. Something about this. Oh, I know exactly what it is. So I don't know if you've ever had it. Yeah, there you go. California. I don't know if you've ever had it, but orange oil. You can add 1 or 2 drops of orange oil to not orange extract, but like actual orange oil. Add it to your coffee, like a latte, 1 or 2 drops. And especially if it's like a mocha, add 1 or 2 drops. Take your little whisker thing or stir thing. I mean, you need a powerful stirring. I have a frothing stir thing. I think you can get it for like $7 on Amazon. Maybe 5, something. You stir it up, drink. It's like, oh, this is a punch you in the face, strong orange flavor. That's why only 1 or 2 drops. Really good in mochas and just lattes. Another good flavor combination is rose water and the orange oil. Here's my point. That extremely powerful orange flavor that you get from orange oil is the same essence that's present in store-bought orange juice. The kind that's only $3 or $4 instead of the kind that's $9 or 14 or 17. I don't know how much. I don't know how much she spent on the orange juice that I had asked her to buy. That's legit, actual orange juice. You've seen well, maybe you haven't, but there's a whole scam. There's a whole expose. That's the right word. Exposing the whole orange juice industry and how it's all lies. It's all lies. Simply Orange, all lies. It's all old, reconstituted, flavored nonsense fakery. And it also, when stuff is reconstituted, like, you gotta imagine that the health, the differences of the health benefits, the life is so far removed from it that I can't help but believe that it's just not got the quality of nutrition that the real stuff does. So, oh yeah, you can see out my window pretty good. Pretty good. See those people zooming by. Zoom. So, this has been a little all over the place. All right, for those of you that don't have, this is not a replacement for watching Francis Schaeffer episode 3 on Amazon Prime. It's not a replacement, but to bide you by until you do watch it, what he's talking about, and what anybody that does a deep dive on the subject of humanism will come to realize is that their transitions, the nature of what we are placing our attention on from what we make central, what is at the center of our focus. And the humanism movement and the Renaissance, all these things, these times, they shift the focus from that of absolutes, values, and truths that go beyond the human level, and they shift it to the material objects, finite things. See, for instance, here's the difference. The nature of the concept of justice is not finite. Is it definable and you can understand aspects of it? Yes. But it is also, for instance, justice would be an aspect of God. And in as much as it's a part of Him, it is infinite. Same thing with love, same thing with other concepts like that, value. They're infinite because they are aspects of who God is. So that's what I mean by infinite and finite, and that's what Schaeffer, I believe, is representing. So the humanism movement, the infinite things to the finite things, and then takes meaning and understanding of life through and by and for finite things. They try to extrapolate meaning from finite things and thus will always fall short. And when you start to hear what he's talking about, hear what I'm saying right now, you might start to go, oh, snap, that makes perfect sense. That's why my whole life I felt like that seems like such a terribly incomplete and insufficient argument. Meaning and purpose and explaining the nature of the world and existence and all these things has to flow from God. If you try to explain the creation of all things by and through themselves, from finite things came all the other finite things, it really breaks down. And what I mean is when you try to do the naturalistic explanation for existence, for creation, for the Big Bang and all those different things that point to finite as a means to describe all things everywhere, the reason that it doesn't work is because that's not how it happened. And you can't take finite and extrapolate into infinite concepts. That's not the natural flow. So basically, you should recognize when you try to do that there's something missing, some missing ingredients, and that would be the infinite, aka God. So again, I'm not gonna do nearly as great of a job as I don't know. The socks, guys. The socks are intimidating. You've got to understand, a man that wears socks like Francis Schaeffer with that level of confidence, I can't touch it. I have no socks with that level of machismo. It's just too intense. And you have to watch a dude with socks like that. So when I was in college and we were watching Francis Schaeffer videos in class, that's pretty much all we could think about was how epic this guy's socks were. And his beard is pretty epic too. It's a classic. Just the dude is just classy. And his socks. You're gonna watch it and you're gonna realize why I'm saying his socks so much. You're gonna be like, oh, whoa. Like, yeah, I told you. I literally told you. So, there you go. There you go. Well, see if I can clarify further any of the humanism. So he pointed out how artists were originally, and if you watch all 3 episodes, go ahead and watch all 3. But if you only have time for one, go ahead and watch episode 3 first. Do a little Star Wars action on Francis Schaeffer, starting the middle of the story. But artists would focus on painting that which was real and observable, and they then moved on to start painting symbols and ideas, the abstract and that sort of thing, and then they started doing just really disturbing things. But the really interesting thing is there started to be a focus at some point on the artists themselves. And you might be able to find quality or value in the concept of focusing on the artist, in as much as it relates to God as the artist. But artists that are humans are not gods, so I don't know, kind of falls apart. But the humanism and self-focus and self-love and all of that, it all ties together. And again, watch Francis Schaeffer. I think it's how then shall we live, or how now shall we live? How then, how now? I think that's the name of this little series of videos, and really, really good. Really good. Evening. I got to bed as early as I could. I think I wound up going to sleep around 9:30. So, and then I got all early, like, kept on sleeping. And then when my alarm went off, I was in the middle of a sleep cycle, stage 3 or 4. It makes you angry when you wake up between stages 3 and 4. Not because of the dream. You could be dreaming the worst dream. It's because of the purpose of the dream. It's because of what that stage does for your brain. When you wake up during that time, something's been taken away from you. Basically. I know it sounds weird, but it's just how your sleep cycles work. It's important stuff. And you can't manage it. But with practice and intentionality, which is the most difficult part, practice isn't that hard. Intentionality, whew, oh boy, that's a tough one. Always planning, always thinking. I mean, you don't want to be paranoid and all neurotic at all. But just take mindfulness, those Gamorreans. It's a good thing. No. No, because the focus of mindfulness training and all that is basically it actually is self-idolatry. Let's not get that confused. It is self-idolatry. So that's part of the dangers of yoga and all that too. Treat yourself. Be kind to yourself. You. Yeah, but there's people that are like really depressed and stuff, and they just need a way to like feel better about themselves and stuff. Because like life's tough, and sometimes people just need something to do that makes them feel a little bit better about themselves. And how can you say there's anything bad or evil about that? How can I say that there's anything evil or bad about that? That's a great question. I'm just going to say it. That it's bad and evil to act as though you should worship yourself. Self-worship is not at all. Now, understanding who you are and who you were made to be, that's excellent. As long as you're acknowledging your creator, then yeah, take some time to acknowledge who he made you to be and how awesome that is. Because that is awesome, but it's awesome because of him. It's not awesome because of you. The thing that makes us feel better about ourselves, it doesn't make us want to jump off a cliff, is acknowledging our creator and that he is great and he is awesome. He made us. You guys oftentimes you just don't understand that it's not about you, and that's perfectly okay. But you have overwhelming, outrageous value because you were made by the creator. Like, he took his time to make you. That doesn't mean, oh, I'm so awesome. Look, he made me. No. He made you. It's not he made you. He made you. The emphasis is on him, not you. And that should give you peace and excitement. You're like, gosh, he made me. God is so great. I want to do everything I can with who and what I am to acknowledge how great he is. So awesome. He's so great. All right. Why have I never heard of that? I wish there was a timestamp, Larry. But no timestamp, so I don't know when you said that, what it was about. And Alex, what's up? Thanks for being here. I'm doing this all week, 5:30 to whenever. And I'm going to go on in, situate my coffee, crank out some work. Yesterday was a tough day. It's a tough day. I haven't shaved. I don't know when I'm going to clean myself up. But this is oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, yeah. That's great. Hey, God made that. Sure did. My hair goes all the way up here. Right here. That's where it stops. Just below I'm almost shaving my eyelids, bro. It goes up so high. My grandfather, he told me at a young age, 14, 13, something like that. He's like, never shave real high because it's annoying to have to. That's sensitive skin. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I didn't. I was very intentional I shaved about that high. And then over time, there was big old hair sticking out. And I was just like, well, I guess this is it. And you just got to do what you got to do. My hair grows so fast. I think it grows so fast, I can feel it. Dead serious. It's ridiculous. I've got genes for beard growth. All right. Read your Bible. Have a great day. Good job with the music. Speaking of the music there, Alex, I might be interested in using, but I don't know how. I don't even know how to download. But I was just thinking about having music during some of the Operation Baby Landlords when I don't feel like showing myself, or even but just like I do a screen capture and I have music playing that isn't going to get me destroyed off the face of the planet because of copyright rules and stuff. So, but I have to scan through what you got and then talk to you about how to use it. Anyway, anybody that can work on Operation Baby Landlord, please continue to do so. I'm having a season of difficulty with that. Not because of that, just my evenings are consisting of saying goodnight to my children, saying goodnight to my wife, and then going to sleep. It's tough. It's tough. But stop. Sounds good. Discord's fine. Oh yeah, OJ and ice cream. Yeah. It was, yeah, it's really yummy. Gotcha. All right, y'all have a good one. Have a good day, and we're gonna do this. Do our work as unto the Lord.